I made this super simple tapering jig. There is really nothing new about this jig. It has been around for a while. There are a ton of different versions of it. I actually made one a while back just using different clamps, but I was asked to make this video by the Builders Challenge. If you don't know what the Builders Challenge is, it's where everybody gets the same set of plans on the same day, and you have 3 weeks to build a project and make it your own. And in the end, there's a winner with amazing prizes. So check out the link below if you're interested in competing this year. It is a really, really fun time. I used my router table to make this jig, but you do not need a router table. You can use a handheld router, or you can even use a jigsaw. So I'll show you at the end of the video how I do that. Let's get started. I started off by raiding my scrap bin and found this 1/2-inch piece of plywood that I thought would be a good size. I then ripped it at the table saw to 11 inches wide, and these measurements are really just arbitrary. It's just what I thought would work for me. Then I took it to the miter saw and I cut it to about 30 inches long. As I mentioned earlier, the router table is not necessary, but I lowered a 1/2-inch bit so that it was the same height as the head of the T-bolt. I moved the fence so it was 3 inches away from the bit, and then I marked starting and stopping points so that I could do a plunge cut, and I wasn't going all the way through the wood here, just the height of the top of the T-bolt. When I got to my stop line at the end, all I had to do was lift up the board, and then I have a little space that's going to have some clearance for the head of the T-bolt. And then I just needed to sand that a little bit. Making sure the fence was still in the same position, I swapped out the 1/2-inch bit for the 1/4-inch bit. And this cut is going to go all the way through the board, and it's going to hold the bolt. So I needed to make sure that the fence was still in the same position so that it would still be referencing the center of the router bit, and those 2 cuts would be centered. So I also did a stop cut using those start lines and stopping lines on this, and I made these 2 cuts on both ends of the boards. So now you see the T-bolt fits nicely into the slot, and there is a perfect space for the head of the bolt that it won't interfere with the bottom of the jig. For the fence of the jig, I raided my scrap bin again and found this piece that was about 3 inches wide. I cut it to 30 inches, and now I moved my fence to make the rest of the cuts. I had to do some extra bit swapping here, but it was better for me to keep the fence in the same position for those previous cuts, and now I could keep the fence in the same position for these cuts. So it's just the same process. I made that shallow groove, and since this material was 3/4 inches thick, I did this part in 2 passes to go all the way through the board. And just in case you were wondering about that awesome apron I'm wearing, that is actually one of the prizes for the Builders Challenge. So anyway, moving on, this is totally not a necessary step. I just felt more comfortable putting on some sticky back sandpaper. I feel like it adds some extra grip. I only had 120 on hand, but I feel like 220 would suffice. I just placed it on and cut off the excess with an X-Acto knife. And now I'm ready to install the fence. I put on these anchor clamps, and I think these clamps are great for this application. You'll see a little bit why. You can do thin stock, you could do thick stock. It's way better than the other setup that I had previously. And then I just put on some more T-bolts and the star knobs and lock the fence into place. The last thing to do is to put a stop on the end of the fence, and this is so that you can make repeatable cuts. I just used a piece of scrap wood, screwed it on, and the jig is done. So I did not put a runner on this. I'm just going to be referencing my fence, and I think that's fine enough. So here, let's see it in action. All you have to do is clamp on your material, clamp down the fence, and here I'm just setting it to, again, an arbitrary angle. I didn't do any measuring, making sure the blade is set to the right height, and then you could just rip away. What I love about these clamps and this setup is that you can adjust it the whole length of the material, and this old one I couldn't since they were fixed into place. They also weren't adjustable to the different thicknesses of material, and this you could just swap back and forth from different sizes of material, and it's so easy to do. Another great use for this jig is to cut off a rough edge of a board, like to act as a jointer. So this is an 8/4 piece of ash, I believe. And in order for the clamps to work with such a thick piece of wood, I just had to add a little riser piece behind the clamps. And then it worked totally fine. The piece was not budging. And just like that, I have a straight square side of a piece of wood that I could reference against the other side of the fence, and no jointer necessary. Now I know a lot of people don't have router tables or are afraid to use routers, so here is another way to make the slots for the T-bolts. Use a 1/4-inch bit and drill a couple of holes in your plywood, and then all you have to do is connect those two holes with a straight edge. And just note I'm using a small scrap here to demonstrate. You would do this on your longer pieces of plywood. So now those two holes are connected, and all you have to do is cut them out and follow your line with the jigsaw. Just make sure you're going really close to your lines and not going over the line so that the hole isn't too oversized. Then you just flip the board around to complete the cut, so then you have a slot for the bolt to fit in. So this is the easy part. The hard part is how to make sure that there's room for the head of the bolt, that it doesn't interfere with the bottom of the jig. So all you would need to do is take some 1/8-inch hardboard or plywood or something, and you would glue that onto your plywood, and that way you have a gap and have room for the head of the bolt. It doesn't interfere with the bottom of the jig. And what I hope you take away from this is that even if you don't have the right tool, there is always another way.